Hello, I'm Nicole and welcome to the Phenomenal Woman series. My guest today is a popular media personality who graces your television screens every night. She's a dedicated mother and partner, and she's a graduate of the Caribbean Institute of Media and Communication, CARIMAC. She also aptly subscribes to the mantra, started from the bottom, and now she's here. My guest today is Janella Precius. Welcome, Janella, and thanks for being a part of the Phenomenal Woman series. Tell us, who is Janella Precius?
Thank you so much for having me, Nicole. It feels so weird being on the opposite end. I'm usually the one asking the questions. So let's see how I do in the hot seat. Okay, who is Janella Precius? Well, 3 years ago, I added mommy to my title. Yes, mommy. So now I'm not just Janella. I'm also Zuri's mother. I'm also a reporter and a fiercely loyal friend.
That's not all that's to Janella. Everybody thinks that you're Jamaican. So tell us the
I
backstory.
am not Jamaican. I mean, how could I not start there? I'm from St. Lucia. I'm actually a small island girl with big dreams, which is why I ended up here in the first place, leaving everything behind and coming here, first of all, to study. And it was never my intention to stay, but as the stars would align, I'm here. And that is like years ago. I'm not going to tell you how long because then my age might just come up, but it has been a while.
You say you came here to study. Tell us about your studies. What did you come here to do? And just take us back a little to St. Lucia.
Okay, well, I am actually from the ghetto in St. Lucia. Okay, so I used to think that where I was from was a ghetto until I got here. I mean, ghetto in the small islands versus inner city here. It's like two completely different things. But yeah, I am from the ghetto, a place called Georgeville, and that is in the city of Castries. And for a very long time, my mother always told me, not because you are from the ghetto means that you have to act a particular way. So you must always project a particular type of persona. So you didn't have to act ratchet. You must always be ladylike. People must not associate your outer being through where you are coming from. So that is where I'm from, a place called Georgeville. We didn't have a flushing toilet. We had a pit toilet. I used to carry water from the standpipe in my community. I think now that I think about it, I think our home was one of the first to actually get the water. But for the most part, I remember in the mornings we have to go get our water by the pipe. I was also that, because I was the youngest in the house, I had to go shop, to go buy bread, whatever it is. But that never defined me. I never ever felt poor because there was so much love in my house. Not just love in my house, but even my neighbors. Everybody expressed love, and I always felt that. I'm also from an era where everybody looked out for you. So all the kids in the community knew at 6 o'clock, time to go home. 8:30, 9 o'clock, time to go to your bed. So I love the fact that I'm from that era where we didn't have Instagram, we didn't have Facebook. There wasn't that pressure of online living. I'm from the era where you play outside. I'm from the era where you enjoy moments and you didn't have to put it on Instagram or Facebook, that kind of a way. So I love my upbringing. I would not change anything about it because I am who I am based on my my upbringing. Fast forward to when I came here, again, I don't even know how I ended up in Jamaica, to be honest. All right, so I came to Jamaica to study media, but before that I was an office attendant. Yes, I was that girl who, it was at a law firm. Now I will tell you, before doing that job, I usually have my grandmother and my mother who would make my tea and do everything for me. But now me, Janella, I have to do that. So it was a learning experience. I learned how to do, that's why I learned how to do the tuna sandwiches because my boss loved tuna sandwiches. Okay, so in addition to making her coffee and her tuna and cheese sandwiches, I was like a messenger, so to speak. So like I had to go to the courts to file documents, and after that, after a long day of doing that, I had to clean the office, clean the bathroom. So I did that for maybe a couple months. But in doing that, I also did college education. So I could not go full time, and this is the only time that because how it works in St. Lucia for most of us is that after you finish your 5 years, you dep on your own. If you want to go college, you have to go pay for your college education. So I worked and I paid, and then once I was through with that, well, I lied. In between. So I was an office attendant. I worked in retail at a whatchamacallit. It was a duty-free shop. I used to sell perfume. And that was a very glamorous experience because you had to go through all the training. You couldn't just sell perfume because it was a duty-free shop. It was for a cruise ship shopping facility. So we had to go through the training with Chanel, Christian Dior, and all of these people. That was an excellent experience, and this is where I realized that I actually had sales experience. I think it was natural for me because I'm a naturally nice person. So it worked for me. Again, whilst I was doing that, I was doing subjects because I knew that I wanted to go to university. And luck will have it that a TV station in St. Lucia, they had an opening. Now I've always wanted to be in media, and I tried out and I got through, and then that is where my media career began. So I did it for 4 years, and then I came to Jamaica to study.
So you're literally a Jane of all trades. Who would have thought that you started as an office attendant and now you grace Jamaican television 7 p.m. every single night. I want to speak a little bit about that because some persons would never believe that you had a job like that. What kind of motivation would you want to give to young persons, particularly young women who are looking to start a career and looking to who think that they're defined based on their start in life?
Your start does not determine how you end. And I think one of the problems that I have noticed in speaking with a lot of young women is that they want it and they want it now. No one cares about going through the process. Because the fact is, media is so competitive. It's very hard to get into, It is very hard to get into. No one wants to just put in the work because I work for free. I did odd things. I used to carry the mic because I just wanted to be a part of it. And it was more than carrying a mic. It was more than working as a producer in a television station. Doing all of that, I got so much experience. Yeah, I can produce for radio, I can produce for television, I can write for television, I can write for radio, and I think that I got all of these skills in my earlier years as a producer. So what I realized, a lot of the younger people, they want it and they want it now. No, it is a process. And it is okay to want it, don't get me wrong, it is okay to want it. But there is a process. And there is also magic behind that process because you get to learn so much. So then you reach a point where, I can call the shots because guess what? I can now do a little of everything. I can do a little bit of sound. I can do a little bit of editing. I can do a little bit of shooting. And it is all because of where I started. I literally started from the bottom of the pit. Because guess what? 1, I was from a small island. 2, I'm black. And 3, I am female. So I kind of had to put in a lot more, to prove myself.
Tell us what 3 things makes a woman phenomenal, Janella?
I like loyalty, and it's so hard nowadays of influencers, in the age of influencers, to find people who are loyal. I value loyalty. I am that one friend you can call me at 3 o'clock in the morning and I will be there. You don't have a lot of that nowadays. So I value loyalty. I value people who are empathetic. I think that we are living in a world nowadays where there's no empathy. We just judge people based on, whatever. So I value people who show empathy. I also value people who show compassion. Because it's pretty much who I am. So no, I will not give you, I'm driven and I like people who are driven and ambitious. No, I think that how people treat people says a lot about their character. So I'm more a character-based type of person, as opposed to all of these other things. Although I think that I am all of these other things, but these are the things that matter a lot to me.
March 8th is celebrated as International Women's Day, and the plight of women continues to resonate globally, about the issues that we face every day. I want to focus on our relationship as women with each other. What do you think we can do more as a collective, and what are some of the strengths and weaknesses that you have observed, particularly in your relationship with other women?
I'm blessed to be or to know some women who understand that everyone, they have their individual strengths. We don't compete because it really is not necessary to compete, because everyone have their own individual strengths and their own individual capabilities. So I think that I am blessed to know women who are like that, and I don't think that I've ever come across or I've ever had that bad experience. I mean, I hear people talking about women, why don't we get along? No, I've never ever, from the time I started working, ever experienced that. And I think that I'm a better person for it, because I understand that, hey, we are all different and we all bring something different to the table. So I am so fortunate to know women who support each other, and then we're all each other's cheerleaders as well. So yeah, I've never really had any experience other than that.
Janella, you're not only a media practitioner, you grace our screens every single night, but you're also a dedicated mother and partner. Tell us, how are you able to balance both aspects of your life?
First of all, big up to my partner, because without him, I don't know how I would do it. I oftentimes wonder how single parents do it. It is not easy, and especially when you have a toddler. So I have someone in my life who is extremely supportive. And it really takes a village. So in addition to a supportive partner, I wish my mom was here still. She was here with me in the early stages. But I have an excellent nanny who has been able to be that person, that other mommy, so to speak, when I am not there, because you understand the type of job I am in. But what a motherhood. The only thing I can say about motherhood, it is one of the things, it is perhaps the hardest job that I've ever had to do, because you are responsible, really. I mean, God, really and truly, I am responsible for this person, for who she is 10, 15, 20 years from now. That is a lot that is a lot to process, but it is the hardest thing, but it also is the most fulfilling thing that I've ever done in my life.
You noted that empathy, loyalty, and compassion makes a woman phenomenal. What makes Janella Precius a phenomenal woman?
What makes me a phenomenal woman? Ride or die, that's me. And that goes beyond just being a friend, but mommy, yeah, and a partner. So ride or die, definitely. Emotional intelligence. I'm happy to say that I'm at a stage in my life where I don't just flip just because. I'm able to assess before I act. So emotional intelligence, me that. Yeah, and I think that's also very important. And ambition. People used to say that, oh, you're gonna be doing primetime news, you have big shoes to fill. I mean, I love the person that I took over from. But guess what? I am so confident in me. I was able to take it and just run with it. You understand? Putting my own stamp on it. So I'm very individualistic, very focused. So emotional intelligence, ride or die, I'm your girl.